So just now we have understood our latest methods of accounts, advanced accounting, costing and FM. Now let me quickly jump into our GST material. And you might have experienced that in the public examination, the quality of questions being asked in the GST are increasing day by day. So they are becoming more and more complicated. So we understood that and we have drastically improved our material. I will show you how we prepared our latest method of GST. So for example, here is a chapter called time and value of supply. So significance of each problem covered in this material, just like what we have done in problematic papers, the entire content given in ICA sources is already included in our material. Of course, as far as GST is concerned, they are not picking up questions from ICA sources. So they are giving from outside sources, they are giving on their own. So just by preparing ICA sources, just by preparing study material, you cannot score good marks in GST. They are not confining to study material. Now, this is theory for classroom discussion. And after every concept, we have given some concept questions so that to check whether you understood the concept clearly or not. Here you can see concept question number 2. So what I can say is, right now, whatever the materials available in the market, our materials are best in the industry. So you will realize it after reading the same. And after writing the public exam, you will understand how much of work we have done and how easy it becomes to appear for our public exams based on our material. So here is their concept question 8. Yes, we are going to provide answers to these concept questions also. Some fill in the blanks were given, which will be discussed in the classroom, and we'll be providing answers for them to you. Now, problems for classroom discussion. So let's see how many problems are there now. Since some of you have already studied with us in our earlier sessions. How many problems are there on the part 1 itself? 16 CRD problems. So obviously there will be corresponding 16 assignment problems. Now tell me, have we really increased the number of problems or not? So totally there are 25 CRD problems in this chapter and there are corresponding 25 assignment problems. And in addition to this, we are going to provide a supplementary material also, which consists of some more problems which are of very much similar to what is being asked in the public exam. And we are going to provide a separate chapter called comprehensive problems, which requires the knowledge of multiple chapters. Have you noticed that such kind of problems are being asked in the public exam in GST? Yes, mixed. That means if you want to answer that question, you must have the knowledge of multiple chapters. So we are going to prepare an exclusive material on the same, which will consist of around 20 to 30 questions. If you are able to answer those questions, then automatically you can face such kind of questions in the public exam well. So in addition to this material, we are going to provide one supplementary material and also one comprehensive problems material. So that's how we have increased our focus on GST material. I have intentionally opened the GST material because everybody felt the GST exam of December 21 to be very tough. That's why we immediately identified it and we upgraded our material. What are these short answer questions? For these questions, you must be able to reproduce the provision, reproduce the theory. Why? In GST, theory questions will also be asked. That's why. So what about the remaining theory content? Sufficient to understand. It's not required to reproduce. So this is ACSP, just like category 1, 2, 3, 4 we discussed in the problematic papers. And if you notice that we are trying to maintain one uniformity among all our materials. These are all assignment problems. So this is ITC. You might have felt this chapter to be very tough in the public exam. And we have increased the content of this chapter like anything, both quantity as well as quality. Let us see how many problems were included here. So what is this gray background? That means some amendment happened in this content, in this provision, that we wanted to highlight using a gray background. Fill in the blanks. Next one, problems for class 2 discussion. Do you find this many number of problems in our earlier material? Yeah. Now we have drastically increased both the number and quality. 21. So corresponding 21 assignment problems. And additional 10 problems will be given in the supplementary material. So the main focus of supplementary material is comprehensive model of that chapter. That means covering multiple sections from the same chapter. Such kind of problems will also be provided to you under the material supplementary. So this is what the work we have done in GST, and we have exactly done similar job in our income tax also. For example, in our latest material, we have included around 30 problems on total income. 30 CRD, 30 assignment. That is what the number we have increased. So we want our materials to be exhaustive. It's not required for students to prepare any other source other than Masterminds material. That is our sole objective. Now, it's a very small chapter. For example, residential status 1. Let us see what sort of improvements that we have made. Same style, significance of each problem. So everything which is already there in ICA sources, we have included. Of course, as far as income tax is concerned, CA Inter is not confining to ICA sources. That's why we have even referred almost all the textbooks available in the market and tried to pick up the best content. So concept questions. What is the purpose of this? To check whether you understood the concept clearly or not. So will these problems be important for public exam? No. This style of problems will not be given in the public exam, but they will help you to check whether you understood the provision correctly or not. You read the provision and try to answer these concept questions on your own. Will we be providing answers to these concept questions also? Yes. And the material that we are going to provide for you is going to be based on Finance Act 2021, which is relevant for you. You can see concept question. Large number of concept questions we have included, which was not there in our earlier edition of materials. So concept question number 7. Fill in the blanks. Problems for classroom discussion. If you observe, we have drastically increased the number of problems. How many problems are there? It's around 9 or 10. Not only the quantity, you can observe, we have even increased the quality. So it is around 13 problems. So 13 CRD problems, and see how huge the problem is in the residential status 1 chapter itself. 13 CRD and corresponding 13 assignment problems. That 26 problems in just one small chapter of residential status 1. You can imagine what sort of work we have done for capital gains and PGBP and total income. We have drastically improved our total income material, because what we noticed is in the public examination the standards are improving a lot and we just want to catch up. So this is ABC analysis, short answer questions, and just like any other subjects, any other materials, ACSP category 1, 2, 3, 4. So things to remember. That's all. There ends our income tax and GST materials. Now tell me, is it not good for you to switch over to our latest materials rather than continuing with our old materials? I don't recommend anyone to continue with the old materials. I request everyone to switch over to our latest materials. So there ends our discussion with respect to income tax and GST.